The night I pressed record, my hands wouldn't stop shaking. I told myself it was just a habit, documenting thoughts the way I always had when sleep refused to come. But deep down, I knew this video was different. It felt like a confession whispered into the dark, a message meant for someone who wouldn't hear my voice again. I didn't know then how quickly everything would unravel. I didn't know that before this video ever surfaced, my own son and his wife would tear apart what little dignity I had left. I'm telling you this now because silence nearly killed me long before the illness did. It started with small things. The kind you brush off because love teaches you to doubt yourself before you doubt family. My phone would light up with missed calls that vanished minutes later. Messages half-written, then deleted. When I asked my wife, their mother, she'd shrug and say, probably but dials. My son, Adam, stopped looking me in the eye when we spoke. His wife, Lila, suddenly became overly polite. Her smile stretched too tight, like fabric ready to tear. I told myself I was being paranoid. But when you've lived long enough, you learn the difference between coincidence and pattern. The day I got the diagnosis, Adam didn't come to the hospital. He said work was busy. Lila sent flowers with a generic card, get well soon, as if this were a cold, not a clock starting its countdown. That night, lying in a sterile room that smelled of antiseptic and fear, I noticed something else. My bank app had been accessed from a device I didn't recognize. I stared at the screen until my eyes burned. Still, I said nothing. Because confronting betrayal feels heavier when you're already carrying the weight of your own mortality. At home, conversations stopped when I entered the room. Doors closed softly but deliberately. Once, passing by the study, I heard Adam's voice, low, urgent. She doesn't need to know yet, he said. Then silence. I began recording my thoughts at night. Not because I planned to die, but because I needed proof that I hadn't imagined the shift in my own house. I spoke into the camera about the coldness, the numbers that didn't add up, the way Lila had asked, casually, if my will was up to date. That question echoed in my head like a gunshot. Memories began to sting. Teaching Adam to ride a bike. Paying for his college. Trusting him with passwords, accounts, decisions. Love, I learned too late, can become leverage in the wrong hands. The truth came in pieces. A forwarded email I wasn't meant to see. Legal documents drafted in my name but not by me. Plans to manage assets once I was no longer capable. They weren't waiting for me to die. They were waiting for me to disappear. When I confronted Adam, he didn't yell. That hurt more. He sighed, like a tired parent correcting a child. You're sick, he said gently. You're confused. Lila cried on cue, saying they were only trying to help, that stress was making me suspicious. I wanted to believe them. God, I did. Because accepting the truth meant accepting that my son saw my ending as an opportunity. That night, I recorded the final video. I spoke calmly. I named dates, amounts, conversations. I spoke about love and disappointment, about the way betrayal doesn't always come from enemies. It comes from those who know exactly where it hurts most. I didn't send the video. I saved it, protected it, and trusted that if the time came, it would find its way to the light. Then my body gave out before my heart did. I wasn't there to see what Adam and Lila did next. But I know. They moved quickly. Changed locks. Froze accounts. Told family I had been unstable. They packed my office into boxes like evidence being erased. They thought they had one. Until the lawyer called. Until the video played. I imagined the room going quiet as my voice filled the air. Steady, undeniable. I imagine Adam's face folding in on itself, Lila's hand slipping from his. I imagine them realizing that the man they dismissed as weak had seen everything. That video wasn't revenge. It was truth. And if there's one thing I learned before the end, it's this. Betrayal thrives in silence, but truth, once spoken, has a way of surviving us all.